Have you ever wondered what happens when a booming industry suddenly hits a roadblock? The electric vehicle (EV) market, once racing ahead with rapid expansion, is now experiencing a significant slowdown. This has triggered a price war among manufacturers, forcing them to slash prices and, unfortunately, lay off thousands of workers. Here, we explore 8 major instances of layoffs that are shaking up the EV market. Stellantis, the company behind Jeep, is preparing for workforce reductions in its U.S. factories. The auto giant is grappling with increased capital expenditure for transitioning from gasoline to electric vehicles, declining U.S. sales, and higher costs due to a new agreement with the United Auto Workers Union. Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares emphasized the need for global cost-cutting measures to keep electric vehicles affordable for the middle class, as they currently cost about 40% more than their gasoline counterparts. Without these reductions, the affordability of EVs could become a significant challenge, potentially shrinking the market further. Stellantis reported a nearly 10% drop in vehicle sales from January through March compared to the same period last year. Lucid Group, another key player in the EV market, announced a 6% reduction in its U.S. workforce, equating to around 400 employees. This move comes as the industry faces slower growth, with automakers striving to control costs amidst rising inflation and high interest rates. The layoffs will affect all levels of employees, excluding the hourly manufacturing and logistics workforce. Despite these cuts, Lucid plans to increase its capital expenditure to expand production capacity in Arizona and build a new factory in Saudi Arabia, backed by Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund. Lucid aims to start production of a more affordable mid-size car and its Gravity SUV this year. Tesla, the world's leading EV manufacturer, is also feeling the pinch. After a decade of rapid expansion, Tesla announced a 10% global workforce reduction, equating to over 14,000 job losses. This decision comes as the EV market stagnates, leading to financial losses and inevitable cost-cutting measures. The layoffs will affect all plants, particularly in the US and China, where sales have dropped by 43%. Interestingly, the cuts extend beyond the basic workforce to include software and service sectors, with several executives departing. This situation underscores the volatile nature of the EV market. Rivian, once a promising EV maker, is grappling with slower sales due to economic slowdown and high interest rates. This has led to significant losses, plummeting shares, and disappointed investors. To counter these challenges, Rivian has been exploring cost-cutting measures, including in-house part production and supplier renegotiations. Despite these efforts, further layoffs were deemed necessary. After cutting 10% of its workforce in February, Rivian announced another 1% reduction. To navigate these difficulties, Rivian has introduced a new, more affordable model, the R2 SUV. Originally planned for a new plant, it will now be produced in an existing one, potentially saving over $2 billion, with deliveries expected in the first half of 2026. Fisker is also facing financial challenges despite the impressive launch of the SUV Ocean last year. The company's stock has been on a downward trend, exacerbated by recent announcements of impending layoffs. Initially, news of potential discussions with buyers offered some relief to investors, but the layoff news has reignited concerns. Fisker officials have indicated that further job cuts are on the horizon as a necessary step to conserve capital. This has led to increased volatility and a drop in Fisker stock. The layoffs are expected to occur within the next 2 months. Fisker is exploring all options to address its financial needs, including potential discussions with buyers and investors and various restructuring alternatives. However, there's a chance these efforts may not succeed, leading some experts to speculate about the company's future. General Motors, GM, a legacy carmaker that fully embraced electrification, is now navigating a slowdown. This has led to a share buyback and job cuts at the Lake Orion plant due to underperforming new EVs, based on the Ultium platform and the discontinuation of the successful Chevy Bolt EV and EUV models. The plant, which employed 1,261 workers, is laying off 24% of its workforce. It is being retooled for all-electric pickups like the Silverado EV and Sierra EV. Most impacted employees, represented by UAW Local 5960, have been offered new roles at other GM facilities. GM's EV journey continues amidst challenges, with major EV investments, including the production of electric pickups, postponed until late 2025 and new drive unit production pushed to year-end. Ford, the pioneer among the Big Three in launching an all-electric pickup, the F-150 Lightning, is also experiencing a downturn despite initial demand. Interest waned as the electric pickup fell short of its internal combustion engine, IC, counterparts capabilities. With declining sales, Ford resorted to hefty discounts, leading to significant losses. In fact, the company lost over $36,000 on each electric F-150 sold last year, totaling over $5 billion in EV losses in 2023. To mitigate this, Ford significantly reduced production and announced workforce cuts. Out of 2,100 workers at the Rogue Electric Vehicle Center in Dearborn, only 700 will remain. The rest will either be reassigned to the Wayne plant or offered a $50,000 retirement package. Lastly, despite China's reputation as a leading EV market, it is not immune to challenges. Growth has decelerated, competition has intensified, and a price war is underway, causing companies like NIO to struggle. NIO's shares have plummeted 90% from their 2021 peak, and despite decent sales and some growth, the company is not turning a profit. To cut costs, NIO reduced its workforce by 10% last November, and rumors suggest another round of layoffs is imminent. Although officials deny these rumors, social media sources and CEO William Li's intent to eliminate redundant roles suggest otherwise. The extent of the layoffs remains uncertain, but it is clear that companies like NIO are facing unprecedented struggles, signaling a potential shift in China's automotive industry landscape. In conclusion, the EV market is navigating through turbulent times. Major players are implementing workforce reductions as a response to financial losses and market stagnation. These layoffs reflect broader challenges in the industry, including increased costs, declining sales, and intense competition. As the market adjusts, the future of these companies and the EV industry as a whole remains uncertain.